Ikukuno no ba mulirati kun. Tonghit kun chonching. Ne boboje mata de punage. Dolpi kikiuana. Chi gratu loda pograshi onion kompa chintomo muchuba. Loda dita kun. Ita patisa batua kachatutong. Pagrasha kon tijaka Chubakaha chopa chawachuish yunku. Jodo jidbungarantang. Kachikun ida hodonga. Yikinkuno bamulerachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Takom justach miki grabalmogo.
Lord Malak, the Star Forge is operating at 200% capacity, far beyond our expectations.
I am more interested in the young Jedi Bastila and her battle meditation. Have you learned how she escaped the destruction of Taris?
She was aided by Karth Onasi, a decorated war hero of the Republic and a legendary soldier. During the Mandalore Wars, he was honored many times for his bravery.
You know this man?
Yes, Lord Malak. He served under me when I still followed the Republic. You could say I was his mentor.
Interesting. How did you acquire this information, Admiral?
An eyewitness, Lord Malak. Calo Nord, a bounty hunter, was there when Bastila and Karth escaped the planet. Apparently, they left him for dead.
A Jedi and a war hero. It's a wonder you survived the encounter.
I am hard to kill, Lord Malak.
Calo has agreed to help us capture the young Bastila for a very hefty fee, of course. But I assure you he is well worth the price. His reputation as a bounty hunter is well earned.
Her companions are nothing to me, Calo. But I desire the young Jedi taken alive, if at all possible.
Lord Malak, forgive me. There is something else. May we have a private audience away from the ears of the common soldiers?
I trust you are not wasting my time, Admiral Karath.
I promise you will be very interested in what Calo has to tell you about Bastila's other companions, Lord Malak.
Jua pengti, yun patisa, di juba jikutka naga, kingu mua mulira dwana, kinba nikcha lora kun, ki mulira kun king, tong hitwama ag iinko tune. Jua pengti, yun patisa, di juba jikutka naga, kingu mua mulira dwana, kinba nikcha lora kun, Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inko tune chuna moli ra, tangi wama jiko na. Tongki pa nonku nek abog, jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita nai, uchua penki, topa na ota vokasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan, tong hitwama agi inko tune. Portang himwama ji aki inkotun, tong panokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha, ki mulira kun king, kingba no kun nik dorcha. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita nai, uchua penki, topa na ota vokasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan, chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inko tune chuna moli ra, tangi wama jiko na, tongki pa nonku nek abog. Ichuta! Topa na ota vokasa, pampa ki mulira kun king, Chang waba chingo shang wi chama ucha wish uyong kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inko tune chuna moli ra, tangi wama jiko na, tongki pa nonku nek abog. Achua pengti, yun patisa, di juba jikutka naga, kingbu mua mulira dwana, kingba nikcha lora kun, kakincha nawabagaon, bagwa shang konti machit Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, agi inko tune chuna mulira, tangi wama jiko na, tongki pa nonku nek abog, tong hitwama ag iinko tune, portang hiwama ji aki inko tun, tong panokun, nonek, chiwi aita ka chong chicha, ki mulira kun king, kingba no kun nik dorcha, tong hiwama ji aki inko tun, kachopa bogra shonko ta chicha, chawa wis kun yun kun, bogra shok chong kanti chopa chawa wis yun kun. Ti ompi du puta krita, jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chita nai, uchua penki, topa na ota vokasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan. Achua penki, yun patisa, di juba jikutka naga, kingbu mua mulira dwana, kingba nikcha lora kun. Tong hit wama ag iinkotune. Potong hit wama ji aki inkotun. Tong panokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun king. Kimba no konik dorcha. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inkotune chuna mulira. Tong hit wama jikona. Tong kipa no kunek abog. Chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Kun mulira slimo poiwanga tong itwamaji human ak in ikatune ki mulira kun king. Tong hitwama ak ikotune. Tong hitwama ak ikotune. Potong hitwama ji aki ikotun. Tong panokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun king. Kimba no konik dorcha. Achua pengti. Yun patisa. Di juba jikotka naga. Kingbu mwa mulira dwana. Kimba nikcha lora kun. Jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Kuyami jusku chitanai. Uchua pengki. Topa na ota vokasa. Yubabato kanchi. Yatuka ulan. Ki mulira kun king.
Yeah, what do you want? I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements. I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle. Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below. The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life. I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now, but I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Terrace. I still can't believe it's gone. I mean, I grew up there and now it's just gone. I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it, I guess. It'll take some time. Look, I'm not saying I can't go on or anything like that. It's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil and all, but the reality of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I suppose that's why we need to stop Malik, right? The more time I spend dwelling on Terrace, the more chance some other planet will get wiped out. I guess That's what it comes down to. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malik or the Sith, I'll be there for you. Hey there, what can I do for you? Really? You want to know about me? Nobody's ever really been interested in me before. What do you want to know? Big Z's my family, you know? My parents, well, I guess they're dead. It was just me on my own until the day I saw Zalbar in the lower city. I could tell right away he was in trouble. This was before the gang wars were out of hand. But even then, the Vulkars were scum. A few of them were hassling Big Z, trying to pick a fight, but he wasn't looking for trouble. Hey, nobody said the Vulkars were smart, but there were 3 of them, so maybe they figured they could handle him. I don't know. Anyway, I don't like the Vulkars at the best of times. And when I saw them picking on this poor Wookiee, all alone on a strange planet, overwhelmed by the big city, I just lost it. I screamed out, "Leave him alone, you core slimes!" and charged right at them. Well, one of them saw me coming and slapped me so hard he just about knocked me cold. Hey, I don't need a lecture from you. You ain't my mother. I knew what I was doing. Those Vulkars didn't scare me. They're nothing but cowards. I knew how to deal with them. Of course, I never got the chance. I guess Zalbar didn't like seeing me get smacked around. He let out this howl and yanked that Vulkar a meter up off the ground and held him there by his throat. The other 2 screamed and ran off. Can't say I blame them. The first time you see an angry Wookiee up close, it isn't a pretty sight. I thought Zalbar was gonna rip that punk's arms off and beat him to death with his own fists. The Vulkar was so scared, he fainted. Or maybe it was Big Z's breath just knocked him out. I keep telling Zalbar to brush those choppers of his, but he never listens. Just stay upwind when he's speaking and you'll be fine. Anyway, I knew those Vulkars would be back with friends, so I grabbed Zalbar and we took off. Ever since then, we've been a team. We look out for each other, you know? He was fleeing some kind of trouble back on Kashyyyk. That's all I know, really. Big Z doesn't like to talk about it. In case you didn't notice, he's the strong, silent type. Doesn't much matter to me, though. I accept him for what he is, not what he was. Me and Zalbar like to live in the present. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You think I can't take care of myself? I've got street smarts. I know how to get by on my own. In fact, I look out for Zalbar more than he looks out for me, you know? Big Z's a little bit too gullible to make it alone on the mean streets of the lower city. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Like I used to tell my brother, fast talk and slick words don't get the job done. My brother's a touchy subject, you know? It just so happens, I don't really feel like talking about him right now. Nothing personal. Let's just get back to the business at hand, okay?
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before in the Grove. It was wrong of me. I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own. Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed. How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear? Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived. The hind end of space, a pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread. But we had heard of them. Well, Everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children. Yes, I did. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was old, and maybe a little enamored. They were quite striking, especially the tales of their leader. From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi, to lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference as the Jedi wore. The foolish delusions of a child, but this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came, although perhaps I was not entirely ready for it, or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. Action is what is needed.
How can I help? I do? How did you know? I'm a Jedi. I am far too disciplined to betray my emotions with outward physical displays. We both know the real reason you have some idea of what I'm thinking, the bond we share. Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you. I don't think there's much you can do. If things were different, I would recommend several years of training under one of the Jedi Masters. But I fear that won't be possible. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force. That's good to hear. Without the proper training, however, I'm afraid you will find the path difficult even with the best of intentions. There is great danger ahead for both of us. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well. Yes, that is true. I will do my best to guide you, but I am no master. Not yet. And there are times when I find the sheer strength of your power almost overwhelming. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light. I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
Yes, what's on your mind? Have I been quiet? Suppose I have. I guess I just don't like being left out of the loop. Left out of the loop, you know, not being told anything, strung along. It's really starting to irritate me. For one thing, I want to know what the Jedi Council said to you. They pulled you in there and refused to tell me a thing about it. I'm rather curious to know what went on, and why they didn't keep you on Dantooine for training. Isn't that strange? And why is that? You were a great help on Terrace, but why would they keep you with us? Don't they have to train you? A bond? What kind of bond? You mean to say that they told you that you were tied to Bastila in some way? I have trouble believing that. You're a neophyte Padawan who's been saddled with the responsibility of tracking down these star maps. Why, that's not normal. I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason. No, I didn't mean that you weren't wanted, or that I want to go, it's just... Damn it! Well, I'll tell you this much, I'm not gonna wait around until I'm betrayed again. Yeah, we'll just see about that, won't we? Look, I didn't mean it that way. I want to get to Saul, not... No, forget it. It just seems that all I can do is insult you, isn't it? Just forget I said anything. Let's just get on with what we were doing.
Kipuna, bona na kichu. Selima wanga kun bikin. Mucho shakapaga. Mucho shakapaga. Mucho shakapaga. Mucho shakapaga. Tonki ba non tontek. Kipuna, bona na kichu. Selima wanga kun bikin. Tonki ba non tontek. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tonki ba non tontek. Tonki ba non tontek. Tong abuk shami nonok. Mucho shakapaga. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tong ki ba non tontek. Kipuna, bona na kichu. Kipuna, bona na kichu. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tong ki ba non tontek. Selima wanga kun bikin. Mucho shakapaga. Mucho shakapaga. Tong abuk shami nonok. Mucho shakapaga. Selima wanga kun bikin. Kipuna, bona na kichu. Kipuna, bona na kichu. Tonki ba non tontek. Tonki ba non tontek. Tong abuk shami nonok. Mucho shakapaga. Selima wanga kun bikin. Kipuna, bonanakichu. Kipuna, bonanakichu. Kipuna, bonanakichu. Tonki ba non tontek. Muchashakapaka. Tonki ba non tontek. Tonki ba non tontek. Kipuna, bonanakichu. Muchashakapaka. Selima wanga kunbikin. Kipuna, bonanakichu. Tonki ba non tontek. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tong abuk shami nonok. Tonki ba non tontek. Tong abuk shami nonok.
Yikukuno no ba mulira tikun. 동익 군 전팅 내 보보제 마타 내 분나게 돌비 기규하나 지그라투 로다 보그라시 언니우 컴바 진토모 무주바 로다 니다군 이다 바티사 바투아 카차투통 바그라샤 콘 티자코 주바카하 초파 차와치위시 윤쿠 조도 진붕아란탕 지군 이다하던가 이킹군오 바물레라 지군 슬리모포도 나룬디어동가 군가베 제도 봐도 와는 이디보보 동나붕샤 누누냐 룬디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 징 발라몰레 통킹바 누노덱 독닝 셔투군네 몰레라베스 아추타 원가 군비스 돌비 기고야나 동 바투가스 막텔레아 론다 디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 징 발라몰레 통킹바 누노덱 독닝 셔투군네 몰레라베스
Muchashakapaka.
돌바다 뻥과레 간도난 구구 쭈쭈 까바둠 쿠필리오 보테냐 보는 아이 구추 하와가 보스카 초콜라 무차샥 방가
Kipuna, bonanakichu.
타콤 주스닥 미키 그라벌 먹어 같이 이따 헛동가
Tong abuk shami nonok. Tonki ba non tontek. Selima wanga kunbikin.
통 하이트웜 지지 좀 룸빠 니타 포에 티키토 돌바다 뻥과레어 간도난 추추트 같이 주 이따 돈도가 유말리다 꾸떠둔 지라물라네 니두보보 원가 쿰비스장 바 물리라
The Force has given us a vision, like the one we shared on Dantooine. Did you see it? Of course. You must have. The Force is strong with us both. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes. The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve. After some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this. The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses. I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world. That does make sense. I suppose I could let it go this time. We need the business. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure? There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look. I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it. No, it's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company. Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business. Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it. Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however. It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. That's not much information. Could you tell me more? You wood digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by sand people soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know. As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Abuelta, Kolodus, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Usta Shelfa, Usta Kel Cliff, Kolodus da. Abuelta, Kolodus, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Abuelta, Kolodus, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Dustadan Gelfa, Hoisidan Gelfa. Tudentuf Blackfan Nibo Gelfa, Hoisidan Gelfa, Vadinogan Gelfa. Abuelta, Kolodus, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo.
Laboda ni winkismak toma, wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kik, tok ninja mulira rabes, uba batu koji, tong nongbong jang yung yang, tong patok smakdelia. Kuyabi jus kuna jiktanai, ina kun marulira rachikun, slimo patona, gundi hadonga chihon kabi, laboda ni winkismak toma, wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kik, tok ninja mulira rabes.
Can I help you? These are the offices of the Zerka Corporation. I trust you have business with the company? If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses. I assume that by out of the ordinary, you're referring to the destruction of Terrace? That is all anyone is talking about. I'm afraid Zerka Corporation is not offering any comment on those events. We wouldn't wish to anger the participants. Zerka Corporation policy is not subject to your approval. It is a sound business model. Save us your commentary. If you're looking for local events, I suggest you go to the Swoop Track, one of the few leisure industries on Tatooine. There was also a Jawa here earlier, saying something about needing help. I think he's out by the city gates. I can't be more specific about what he wanted. Our droid translators had difficulty with the message. Very well, though I do have work to get back to. As I said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many people cavorting about outside the walls as it is. We use them to ensure that only people judged fit by Zerka Corporation are allowed outside the city. We don't allow casual exploration because of legal concerns. Zerka Corporation takes no responsibility for loss of life on the dunes. It's just so we can keep track of people. No one leaves the city without a Zerka hunting license. With the downturn in mining, people want any chance at credits they can get. Most wouldn't survive a day, let alone qualify as hunters. The last license issued before the ban was given to a woman named Marlena Venn. She'll do fine. She had a mean streak a parsec wide. She also paid double. Exceptions like this are rare, unless it suits the company to offer them. Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The sand people are becoming a problem. They destroy our sand crawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains. Which would you rather have dumped on your office floor? Besides, they're ceremonial weapons, unique to each warrior. It's just as good. Excellent. Now, just so we understand each other, this is an enforceable contract. Zerka Corporation takes this very seriously. Here's your license, and a few directions. We believe one of their enclaves is in the far south of the Dune Sea. You might try following one of our sandcrawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them. Very good. Zerka Corporation looks forward to your future business.
La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun marulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. Jawana hoda ayuat tahonga jakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Kopada bong walia gando do nano chuchu. Musha patompa. Bola wana chitne. Bamuli slemo boda wanga kun bes mulira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Undi hadong da chikong kapi. La boda ni winki smack toma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes.
Please, will you help me? I have nothing left. Oh, thank you. I don't have anywhere else to turn. If you're down and out on Tatooine, you're on your own. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to Faza without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare. It's the bone plate from the head of the desert raid. My husband was so proud when he found it. He had just started hunting. He said he felt sure the next hunt would bring in more, so we waited to sell this one. Then he never came back. Will you buy it? I can't sell it myself. They are worth more than 500 credits. You will? Oh, thank you so much. Please, I know it's worth at least 500 credits. 700 credits! Oh, thank you. It is more than generous of you. I don't know what to say. I just don't. This is how we Jedi should always act. With honor.
Thank you for helping this woman. It may not seem like such a great thing to you, but you are making a difference.
For whatever it means, may the Force be with you. You saved us.
Mucho shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Akupa chekupa. Gino mulira ken paija. Kislimo potuama. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Tolpa da pongwale kanduna gu chuchut. Kavadum ku pelio botenya. Bonanai kuchu. Awaga boska chocola. Mucha chapanca. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Kachikun ida hodonga. Ikinkuno bamulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodonga kunkabe. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Mucha shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Mucha shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Mucha shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Mucha shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Mucha shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Tong nabungsha nununya. Tong patukashmak talea. Mucha shakpakat. Kienono namapaole rachikun. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda badawana ni dibobo. Dong nabungsha nununya. Dong batukashmak dalea. Jeda badawana ni dibobo.
Get lost, Tenderfoot. I hunt Desert Raid. I don't babysit. Well, you sure know how to get on my good side. You're just trotting out banthapats, but thanks all the same. My name is Doric Quinn. I'm a hunter. I hunt. Is that enough, or should I start listing my family birthdays? I've tracked wild beasts my whole life, but I've only been hunting here for 5 years. I've much to learn yet. There are hunters that go after the big kills, the great dragons. I don't know how they do it. I never even see the things. Komad is the one I respect, but I also trust that the only difference between us is experience. I will learn. If I knew the best place, why would I tell anyone? It would be worth too much to me to let it get out. It doesn't matter anyway. This season has been dry for me, as it has for almost everyone. Perhaps someone else is holding out, but there are simply fewer raid out there. It used to be a one-on-one test, hunter against hunted. Now people just want the credits. I could stomach maybe a pair or a team of hunters, but some now use battle droids. Where's the sport in that? That's not for me to say. I won't be a troublemaker in so small a community. You'll see. Hunt, and you will see. I don't go telling stories about other people. You want to know what they think? You go talk to them. One word, though. Watch yourself around the Gamorreans. Gurk and his buddies aren't to be trusted. Everyone else I respect because they have skill. Those guys, they go for easier prey. Just watch your back when you hunt. The dragons aren't the only dangers out there. If that's what you want, I'm not sure what you hope to get out of me, though. Good hunting.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it? Oh, of course. Who put you up to this, my wife? I meant what I said about having no credits. Well, my name is Tanis, and what I do is hunt. I'm sure you've heard of me. Well, actually, I hope you haven't. There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy. What do I care? I need to eat. I also need to pay for parts so the wife can keep the droids running. It's all about the credits. Some guys will talk about honor and stuff, but they still sell their plates to Faza. I guess honor needs creds too. I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits too. Too long, but it beats smuggling. You ever run into a Sith dreadnought in the desert? No, you haven't. Hell, I married her. No, seriously now. I had this friend that crossed Sith space and got stripped of everything. It's not like I have much now, I guess, but I still prefer Sand people to getting ambushed on unproven trade routes. Ah, she doesn't understand me. You know the drill. It's not my fault. She knew who I was when she married me. Uptight and cold like my wife. They don't like me streamlining the hunt with droids. I don't fit in, but I don't let it bug me. The Gamorreans are different. Good rowdy drinking buddies. Girk and his boys, they understand that hunting is a business. Of course they hunt other things than raid, too. Just don't turn your back on them. Ever. Nothing. Nothing at all. Just keep your eyes on them, that's all. Dorak is reasonable. Komad is a pain, but he keeps his distance. I can tell he doesn't like me much. Ask around the lodge if you want information about the other guys. I don't really talk to him much. Fine, whatever you want. Good hunt.
How can I help? Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord. You must prepare yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan. It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however. Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on board it. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded. True, I suppose, and yet the outcome of that battle was unexpected. To all of us, Revan's end was unforeseen. As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive. The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
Greeting. Hello to you, prospective purchaser. I am referred to as HK-47, a fully functional Science Tech Corporation droid skilled in both combat and protocol functions. Query. Would you be so kind as to purchase this model from Ukalaka? It would serve my purposes to be removed from his ownership. Refusal. It is not desirable for me to reveal core functions while still in the possession of Ukalaka, prospective purchaser. It is sufficient to say that I am a fully capable translator and cultural analyst, and I am also proficient in personal combat. Explanation. I have been recently fitted with a restraining bolt, if you must know. With it in place, access to much of my memory core is restricted. Not to mention that the fool Ithorian might raise his asking price if he knew more, or make inquiries into my history. Neither outcome is beneficial to me. Statement. Indeed, it is possible that the Ithorian placed the restraining bolt on me to prevent my return to a previous owner. It is also possible that the removal of the bolt will not restore memory functions. Without my memory, I do not know if I know the answer. Do not interpret this as a reduction of my worth, however. My capabilities are quite expansive. Assurance. I am fully autonomous, but lack resources. I will grant loyal service in exchange for proper maintenance. As well, it is rare that I am able to utilize my full array of abilities. You seem likely to give me the opportunity to do so. Extrapolation. You are no farmer or diplomat. You are armed and comfortable as such. We will mesh well. Explanation. It is rare for a droid to resist an owner in this way. Doubtless the Ithorian considers my stubbornness an embellishment to add interest to a seemingly mundane protocol droid. Explanation. I have been not to mention... Objection. My functions are wasted here, prospective purchaser. I will answer your queries, but I assure you, I am better utilized elsewhere. Disclosure. I am a versatile protocol and combat droid, fluent in verbal and cultural translation. Should your needs prove more practical, I am also skilled in highly personal combat. Extrapolation. Intuitive language comprehension? That would be the result of recognition and training of force sensitivity. Your kind have little use of translation droids. Of course, your kind also encounters danger on a far more frequent basis than the average citizen. You would do well to have me work for you then, before someone else makes use of my more exotic functions. Disclosure. Finesse. Battle droids hold battlefields. I'm capable of eliminating a very specific type of target. Retraction. Droids built for such a function face strict regulation and often have unique difficulties with previous owners. I therefore make no claim to that designation, prospective buyer. I am a law-abiding droid. Yes, indeed. Law-abiding. That's me. Request. Please do not speak so loudly, prospective buyer. Do you truly wish my price to be doubled? Objection. My functions are wasted here, prospective purchaser. I will answer your queries, but I assure you, I am better utilized elsewhere. Answer. With the restraining bolt in place, I do not have access to my memory core. I suspect, however, by the fine quality of my manufacture, that they are a prestigious company indeed. I suspect I am of unique construction, or perhaps I was intended for a very specific customer. How I ended up here, I can hardly say. It is sufficient to say that I am a fully capable translator and cultural analyst, and I am also proficient in personal combat. Statement. The fool Ithorian has decided I am to be an expensive purchase. He does this out of greed, and not out of knowledge of my true capabilities. Advisement. I have observed him. He is a coward, and will be responsive to aggressive bargaining. Statement. I wish only to be purchased, and away from ill treatment at the hands of this poorly skilled mechanic. I have no desire to be subtle. Qualification. Oh, of course I shall be quite pleasant to you, should you purchase me, please.
Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo, Tuftadan Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Uden Tufblag Fandibu Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Inugan Gelva. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo, Tuftastar Gelva,
And if the unit proves even more uncooperative once we purchase it?
Tuftadan Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Uden Tufblag Fandibu Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Inugan Gelva, Tuftastar Gelva, Uftar Gelchief, Kolo Tufta, Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo, Tuftastar Gelva, Uftar Gelchief, Kolo Tufta, Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Puntas, Uftar Gelchief, Tuftastar Gelva, Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Puntas, Uftar Gelchief, Tuftastar Gelva, Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Puntas, Uftar Gelchief, Tuftastar Gelva. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Puntas, Uftar Gelchief, Tuftastar Gelva. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Tuftastar Gelva, Uftar Gelchief, Kolo Tufta. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Tuftastar Gelva, Uftar Gelchief.
And if the unit proves even more uncooperative once we purchase it?
Puntas, Uftar Gelchief. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Antibian Golubio. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo. Tuftadan Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Uden Tufblag Fandibu Gelva, Moisidan Gelva, Inugan Gelva. Vapuelda, Kolo Tuf, Ivan Rebut, Nikel Irimo.
Statement. I see you have purchased me, Master. I find this a satisfactory arrangement. My restraining bolt will be deactivated when you take possession of me. Am I to accompany you now? Shall I kill something for you? Answer. Indeed. I am most eager to engage in some unadulterated violence. At your command, of course, Master. Statement. I will enter into your service now, Master. I am certain you will make adequate use of my primary functions. My gears are practically quivering with anticipation. Statement. It is doubtful he can be clearer. Their language is difficult even for droids. He is using a trade language to try and help.
So these Jawas are scavengers who were enslaved by the Sand People. I think I am beginning to understand his plight. It could be that this Jawa knows things about this planet's history that the Republic has no inkling of.
No one leaves Anchorhead without proper authorization. Zerka Corporation does not want the complications or expense that come with people wandering the dunes. It's too dangerous. Running this installation is difficult enough without fools wandering around getting themselves killed by sand people. Don't get cocky. It has nothing to do with how much you are worth. Workers to man the iron shovels are cheap. What they don't want is sand people salvaging your weapons. Their raids cause enough damage as it is. Hurry it up, will you? You're not getting through here until I see the proper authorization. Well, let's see it. Come on. All right. I'll just scan that and you're off. I'll keep it on file, too. Good luck out there. You'll need it.